Yeah.
Mhm. All right, welcome back everyone with Jack Bossman, Arif Gilany, as we go through how to build your own story. And presentation was our first video where we talked about this picture in detail. Now we're going to talk about the people and the reasons why we do things we do. Now, Van Gogh, as most of you know him, a historic figure, said, I dream my paintings, then I paint my dreams. This is a big, big words. I want you to burn it on your forehead and think about it as we go through the second presentation. Now, the people in my life start with my family, start with my friends, start with my community, and the most important person in my life is my mother. When she had a heart attack, I dropped everything, went back there, found some Camel products that help her recovery. Today, my mother is 88, knock the wood. She's amazing because I've taught her how to think positive even through all of the challenges. And as she started to use this Camel products and socks, and she absolutely loves them. Goes for her walk on her walker. I mean, it was nothing short of a miracle. So let me show you why. Now, had we had some of this experience that was absolutely unbelievable. So I started to email some of my colleagues back in Canada to see why is this helping. So I was on a vacation for 2 weeks to go and see mom and come back. Well, I stayed 6 months, and that started this unique journey of discovery. And why are we talking right now about this as an example for a company that you, the student, will build in the future if you follow these steps? Now, what I discovered about camels through all of these decades of experiences learning is summarized in 7 shocking steps. One, camels milk is the most nutrition. Now, going back here, I had started a deep commitment to figure out everything there was about this camel first. So when I came back to Canada from my journey here and discovered that my mother was feeling well, I came back and started to look into the world and see where camels might be. Starting in Turkey on my way, we discovered some pain relief products made of camel hair and started the research in places like Morocco, like Egypt, to find out where's this camel. This is such an out of this world idea. 99% of people who hear the story have never heard that camels even have hair or fur or cashmere. Camel cashmere is one of the fibers that is absolutely most valuable where it's known. And the reasons are because the camel itself is so valuable. Look at the milk. I was putting some slides together here, and I was speaking with my colleague Jack here, and I was trying to explain him how the camel's milk tastes. Is most like mother's milk, no other. It's full of nutritions. All I get call after call from people who have autistic children who love to have camel milk because it helps cure a lot of internal illnesses. Jack, are you with me? Jack
It's
is
not a
probably.
journey unless it's done together, sir. I am with you. Please continue.
I appreciate it. Just need some feedback to see how I'm doing on my presentation. I'm used to standing in front of 50, 10, 20, 100, 5,000, 50,000 at my peak and making speeches. So since then, I've gotten confident, but I like some feedback from audience once in a while. So those of you who are watching this who didn't have any clue about 7 shocking facts about camels, please make a comment. Tell us where you met a camel. That's the most exciting thing about the people that I meet, which they tell me, oh, I rode a camel in Egypt. I went to Morocco on a camel ride. Or I
Mr.
met the
Galani,
camel in Israel, places like this.
Mr. Galani,
Sir.
I would like to make a very powerful recommendation to you as a veteran of many presentations to one
Sir,
person as well as 1,000 people. And I also gave briefs to commanding generals when I was active duty in the Navy. If we
I'm
take a
all
look at
ears.
the slide, if we take a look at the slide, you are presenting this slide, Mr. Gilany. What I would suggest to you, sir, is allow me to present the slide, and then you will go ahead and follow up with me to ensure that I have not missed any critical points on the slide. How
I
does
would
this sound?
nothing better than that. I would love that, Jack. Let me see how clear it is.
One of the things I will recommend to you when we have 7 shocking facts about camels, the word about and the word camel should also be capitalized.
We will
These are
do that,
small
sir.
details, and this interaction is meant for Mr. Gilany, but is also meant for our entire learning community. We want to make sure that we present what we want to present. Mr. Gilany is an artist, and this is his painting. So if we have an error, I will not even use the word mistake. I will use the word error. We take the time to fix it because we want to be as good as we can when we're focused on an international audience. Now, camel milk, it doesn't necessarily matter. You can capitalize or not capitalize, but we want to make it universal. These are simple things. Now, when I look at camel milk, it's the most nutrition food or nutritious, most nutritious, and we will make that correction right now as well because we have the time. It's the most nutritious food on earth, or milk is actually a drink, but we cannot really call it a food. It is a drink. It's the most nutritious drink on earth. It's milk, it's drink. We drink milk. Okay, that's fine. Now, when we look at number two, my erroneous assumption for this particular presentation or this particular statement is inside the camel hump is not water, it's fat. And if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Gilany, do camels have one hump or two?
Well, again, Jack, that's number three. So you're
So,
doing good. If
so
I'm
we have
the
so we have Bactrian and dromedary. They're the two types of camels. And if I'm not mistaken, a dromedary is the camel that is used to transport supplies and to accompany us on voyages and journeys, etc. Number four, camels are known as the wisest of all animals, the spiritual animal. So, in other words, they convey a message. They have a sense about them. They're highly organized, very efficient, very effective, and very disciplined. And it's also something to understand. They have 2 eyelids, enabling them to walk in a storm, which is why they were chosen as the primary method of transportation in Mongolia, in the remote areas of Asia, in the desert areas, because they're effectively designed for journeys. And there is no other animal, to the best of my knowledge, that has the range of a camel, now that I think about it. While other animals are localized to certain areas and they have a limited range that they're able to journey on. So this is very intense. This is very important information that I want to convey onto our international audience of learners. Camel cashmere heals aches and pains naturally. Once again, I will point out generically that neither Mr. Gilany or myself are doctors, but we do take the information that's passed on to us from others and make assessments based on the information received. And that's also very important. And chemicals. Camels are originally from North America. That is a fact or a statement that I was not aware of. So, key ingredients here for success on the origin of the Camel Company and the origin of Mr. Gilany's work and his own personal and professional journey as a result of identifying these key attributes that are associated with camels. But please go ahead, Mr. Gilany.
Thank you so much for that guidance, Jack. You're the best spiritual leader. Let me tell you about the spirituality of camel because a lot of our audience are Muslims. As myself, coming from a very famous Muslim family, haven't been a descendant of Muhammad sallallahu himself, when he was driven out of Mecca to go to Medina, all of these rich people or people who know, oh, this figure is making a move and he's being driven out of town, he's going from Mecca to Medina, whatever story might be, they invited him to their homes. Now everybody said, oh, I have this beautiful house on this skirt, this, that. He says, sallallahu, he says, wherever my camel rests, that's where we will go. And the camel rests where now the biggest mosque in the world in Medina, Mosque of Medina. That was designed by the spirit of a camel, or chosen, if you will. Thank you so much. Originally from North America, that might be the shocks of all. The beautiful colleagues and researchers at the University of British Columbia had discovered the bones of prehistoric camels, which is, yes, versatility Jack talked about. This is so good. This is so good. Jack gave me some feedback, and now I can build on that. This is what you're going to get in this system platform that Jack has created. I really thank you, Jack. Camels, thank you, because they're from North America and the bones were found there. They were done, sent out to America, done research labs, and found out. The whole story is available on YouTube, friends. And this video, the purpose of this seven facts is, whatever idea, eureka moment that you have in that beginning, you have to put time to learn every single detail that you can about your industry. And learning never stops, Jack says. So we went on this discovery, Jack, and this is the process that we're going to talk about next. I think we've overgone 7 minutes. Now we'll refresh and go to the next part, which we're going to talk about the process. Thank you.